Origami is actually paper folding and is thought to originate from Japan. Origami has evolved from traditional models to the modern art form you see today. Traditional origami really came from Japan. These were ceremonial models such as the flying crane or a samurai hat, great sort of things. However, there has been an evolution. And what you have now is larger sheets of paper, thinner paper, maybe the application of a mathematical process to create a crease pattern to make a much more complex model. And that really has enabled more sophisticated and advanced things to be made. The creative process for origami art, certainly for me, I have a sort of arsenal of techniques in my mind. I've made a series of objects, I know how to make various shapes. So I try and look at the object itself, understand what the essence of its character is, and try and sketch it in a few creases as possible. I got involved with the project to make famous musical icons because I thought it would actually test the medium. Most things I'm asked to make are quite angular and sort of geometric objects almost, and I can capture them in one or two folds. But the challenge with people is to give them a personality and to bring them to life in some way. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to try and capture some of what the acts are all about and give them a little bit of their own personalities and try and change them somewhat. And it was just a refreshing opportunity for me. Within the project there were various origami challenges, and one of them was to make Lady Gaga. We decided we'd make her in a meat dress, very iconic for her, and she's famous for it. But origami is full of folded edges and it's very flat, but meat is a kind of rounded object. And so our solution to that was to take a red ticket and tear it. And then by doing that, the tear of the paper became like the fat within the meat. And hopefully, I think we captured it pretty well.
The StubHub has launched the Let the Ticket Live exhibition so that we can try and represent the tickets that fans will hold for years and years. So what better way than through origami and to try and create some of the world's most famous acts.
Do I ever keep tickets for the events or gigs that I go to? Definitely, especially the Spice Girls one. I had to keep that. All the Beyonce concerts, Destiny's Child, I've kept all of them.
I used to keep every single one of the tickets of the gigs that I used to go to.
I've got to say, I really like the origami stars. They're a bit more interesting than what I do with my tickets, which is inevitably just lose them. They're the kind of thing you keep hold of because you think it's a good memory, but you put it in a pile of paper and end up probably recycling it. So I like them.
We commissioned Mark Bolitho because he's the #1 origami artist. We felt that he could create some of the best known artists out there today. And he's managed to do that through a collection of tickets that are representative of people's memories and passions over the years.
My favourite gig that I've been to was probably Chasing Status at Glastonbury.
My most memorable gig was seeing a small band, Australian band called the Huntston Collectors in a bar in Queenstown with 200 people about 15 years ago.
One of my favourite gigs that I went to, it was the Rolling Stones announced their last tour in Wembley in the late 80s or early 90s. And what was great with this project was that we were able to look back over many of the tickets used for these events and see a lot of the symbolism tied in, and it brought it all back. And I just thought, how fantastic, this is great.